How is it going, Databases? No Data here. Welcome back to yet another Roblox Assassin video, and this is another Roblox Assassin story. You guys have given a lot of positive response to this series, like what updates happened, what I was doing during those updates, so I'm going to be giving another one, and this is my first ever Mythic, ladies and gents. We're going to be talking about the first Mythic I have ever gotten, so pretty cool, guys. If you guys are excited about hearing about my first ever Mythic in Roblox Assassin, be sure to drop a like on this video, ladies and gents. It will help out a whole lot. And let us get into this video, guys. So as you guys are no doubt aware, the first ever Mythic to ever be added into the game is Ice Ancient. A pretty basic Mythic. It is still the easiest Mythic to craft. I would like an easier Mythic to craft. That'd be pretty interesting, although that would like decrease the value of all the dreams. But yeah, Ice Ancient, easiest Mythic to craft and the first Mythic to ever be added into the game. And this was around during January 2017. I don't know the exact day, maybe like January 4th or 5th, something along those lines, but like early January of 2017, Ice Ancient was added. And back then, the Sky Lobby was still a thing. I call it the Sky Lobby, and still my personal favorite lobby of all time. You know, I like the current lobby we're in. You know, it's got a purple VIP room and it's got a dance floor. It is pretty good. But the Sky Lobby, the first lobby that I've ever seen, the lobby that was in Roblox Assassin when I first started playing, is still my favorite lobby of all time because there was a hot tub in the VIP room and it was super cool. And also you could do a glitch to get to this private beach, so it's really cool. I kind of wish that would come back, but with how glitch free the game is, you wouldn't be able to go to the private beach, and like it wouldn't be worth it. You know, why would you want that lobby back if you can't glitch to the beach? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Ice Ancient was the first ever Mythic to be added to Roblox Assassin. You know, being the first Mythic, it had a lot of changes to bring to Assassin. Now, the biggest impact that Ice Ancient has brought to Roblox Assassin was definitely the demand for exotics. Before Ice Ancient, Ice Lord, which you used to craft Ice Ancient, Ice Lord was pretty low in demand. It wasn't the worst. I'd say back then Doombringer was the worst. I'd say that was the lowest in demand. But Ice Lord was pretty low in demand. Like, okay, it was cool. It looked nice. But nobody really wanted it. It certainly wasn't the worst knife. Again, you know, Proton and Doombringer, you know, those are worse knives than Ice Lord. But, you know, there were things like Gilded and Dark Blade that were like really good. You know, back then Gilded was high in demand because it was like a cool golden sword and everybody wanted Dark Blade. Dark Blade was 100% the highest exotic in demand because you can use it to craft Unicorn, and Unicorn was pretty high in demand back then, so a lot of people wanted Dark Blade. And then Ice Lord, it was kind of just in the middle, you know? It's like Crescendo and Frost Dragon nowadays. Like, alright, they're cool, but like it's kind of middle ground. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. And that's kind of what Ice Lord was like, but it was kind of on the lower side. Like, it's like, oh, I got an Ice Lord. That stinks. Could have gotten a Dark Blade, you know? And you know, that's kind of how I was like. You guys remember when I started Assassin, I was playing with a friend, and we kind of like shared inventories. It was pretty cool. So me and my friend, we didn't really want Ice Lord. It's like, okay, it's not that good. Get rid of it, you know? Get Dark Blade. That's really all you need in life. And then Ice Ancient came around, and ever since then, Ice Lord, the demand for Ice Lord had changed. You know, Ice Lord skyrocketed in demand. Like, you need 3 Ice Lords to craft the Ice Ancient. Everybody wanted it because, you know, it was the first Mythic. Pretty huge thing. And everybody was trying to get their hands on an Ice Lord. It was pretty insane. And even today, just because of that Ice Ancient knife, even today, Ice Lord is still a really high in demand exotic. Like, everybody wants Ice Lord. It's still like that. Like, a year and 3 months later, that much time later, and everybody still wants Ice Lord. And it's pretty insane how one knife can have a huge impact on another, you know? So what was I doing during this time? I don't really remember what happened just before the update, but I do remember what happened once it dropped. So, you know, it dropped. It was pretty huge update, honestly. You know, you had the first Mythic ever in Roblox Assassin. Before this happened, the exotic was the highest tier. In some cases, an exotic still is the highest tier, technically, because, like, Skeleton King is the rarest, and, like, that's an exotic, and values is still measured in exotics, but still, you know, the actual highest tier back then was exotic, and then there was a Mythic, so it was pretty insane. We had Ice Ancient, and MLG was also released on the same day, so you could craft an MLG for Rainbow, Mountain Dew, and Doritos. And, you know, now you can craft MLG. And now that I think about it, you really didn't have a lot of time to craft MLG. You had like a month or so. pretty insane. I mean, I guess MLG is like really rare nowadays, just because of how much time you didn't have to craft it, you know? So again, everybody in every server was scrambling for an Ice Lord. Multiple Ice Lords, really. And I remember telling my friend about it, like, hey, this update just dropped. It's a huge new Mythic now. And then he started helping, and we both got some Ice Lords relatively quickly. I think he got most of the Ice Lords. I can't remember what exactly he did. I think he might have gotten 2 out of the 3, and I've gotten 1 out of 3. You know, it was a long time ago, so I don't really remember the details, but he gave me the Ice Lords and pretty much everything that we needed, and I was the one to craft it, and I think I was the one to keep it. I think he wanted me to keep the Ice Ancient. He was talking in the chat like, wow, we got it. We got it pretty quickly. I think that was like the first day, actually. So like first day, we were able to craft the Ice Ancient. First or second day, I can't quite remember. But it was pretty quick that we managed to get our hands on our first Ice Ancient. And I think I ended up trading away that first Ice Ancient, I think ironically, for my first ever Corrupted Axe. And speaking of which, it is pretty insane how much these values have changed. Like, think about it. I still remember my first trade for my first Skeleton King. My first ever Skeleton King I traded Ice Ancient for. Just imagine that. Imagine just trading just an Ice Ancient, a measly Ice Ancient for a Skeleton King. Like, back then, that was pretty common. And right now, trading an Ice Ancient for a Skeleton King is like 1 in a million chance. Not even kidding. That's like 1 in a million. That is so hard. That is so rare. So just thinking about how common it was back then, it's pretty interesting. You know, a lot of people did think that Ice Ancient was the best at the time because, oh, it's a higher tier. Ice Ancient is the only knife of that higher tier, so Ice Ancient must be the best in the game. That was never true. Skeleton King and Corrupted Axe were better by a couple of exotics, but not much. Again, trading Ice Ancient for a Skeleton King or even a Corrupted Axe is pretty common. And you know, I did do some pretty bad trades in an effort to craft some more Ice Ancients. I remember one particular trade, like a particularly bad trade that I did, was I traded an Electro Saw for an Ice Lord, which, you know, seems bad now, but you know, I can forgive my past self for that because Electro Saw was only 2 exotics at the time, so I was trading 2 exotics for 1. And then I would craft Ice Ancient, which was 3 exotics, you know, 3 Ice Lords for a knife that's worth 4, so really it balances out, and Ice Ancient was really high in demand, so I can understand my thought process back then. And I did do a lot of worse trades back when the other Mythics came out, where I traded freaking Corrupted Axe for Spider, alright? That was the true financial depression there, but I still had fun back then. But you should check out that story if you didn't yet. And that's really all I have to say about Ice Ancient. I've definitely crafted like a lot of Ice Ancients before the next Mythic update came out. Maybe like 3 to 5, and you know, I ended up trading away most of them for some better knives, like Skeleton King and Corrupted Axe. I had a lot of Corrupted Axe by the time that the February update came out with Spider and Rainbow Seer, etc. And that's going to pretty much be it for this video. There's really not much to say about Ice Ancient. If you want to hear some more assassin stories, leave it down in the comments below, and I might make a video about it. Also guys, before I end off this video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 25,000 subscribers. That is honestly pretty insane. You know, some videos I just like to thank you guys for all the support you have given me, and honestly, it has been insane so far. Like, think about it guys, think about this for a minute. We started this channel in July 2017, and now it's April 2018. We're already at 25,000 subscribers, and it's pretty interesting. You know, like, we are a quarter of the way to 100,000, and that is honestly insane. I don't know if we'll ever reach this milestone. We might. I think so. I think, you know, if we keep going, we'll eventually make it. But just knowing that we're like a quarter of the way there, that is honestly like really freaking insane. So thank you guys so much for all support. You guys are freaking awesome, and you know, I hope you guys keep watching the videos and you don't get bored of me. I feel like people get bored of me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and those other things that YouTube people do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Toodles.